Coming up next on This Week in Torrance, a teen travels thousands of miles to seek treatment at a local hospital. We'll tell you how Torrance Memorial is helping. Then how you can receive a free pumpkin this season just in time for Halloween. And a local destination famous for bringing world-renowned artists and artwork to the city of Torrance celebrates a big milestone. We'll take you there. Plus, we've got all the highlights to this year's Power of Pink sold-out event. These stories and much more are just seconds away. Your local news starts right now. Hello everyone and welcome to This Week in Torrance. I'm Jin Chun Ben McCain has the week off. Here are your top stories. Millions took part in a recent earthquake drill, also known as the Great California Shakeout. On Thursday, October 15th at 10:15 a.m., more than 10 million people practiced the exercise of drop, cover, and hold on. Here in Southern California, Los Angeles, Ventura, and Orange counties participated, totaling more than 4.5 million registrants. Local governments, businesses, schools, and even hotels registered at shakeout.org. Launched in 2008, this annual event was started to bring awareness of the need to be prepared for the inevitable big one. Now, this is also a good time to remember to organize an emergency preparedness plan for you and your family, as well as in your workplace. Be sure to stock up on the proper supplies like water and non-perishable food items. The Great California Shakeout exercise is simple. During the drill, you're asked to drop to the ground, take cover by getting under a sturdy desk or table, and hold on until the shaking stops. Now, next week, we'll show you how El Camino College students and faculty prepared for this very important drill. The Great California Shakeout was also a reminder that earthquakes are unavoidable, especially here in California. And the best way to survive one, well, it's to be prepared. Now, if you haven't done so already, start getting your emergency kits together, and once it's assembled, place it where it's easily accessible. Here are some tips on what to fill your emergency kit with. Be sure to include food, water, and first aid supplies to last up to 3 days. The kit should also have a battery-powered radio, flashlight, and extra batteries, garbage bags, manual can opener, a cell phone charger, pet, baby, or infant supplies, important family documents like insurance policies and copies of your ID, and bank records, and be sure to keep those in a waterproof portable container. And don't forget to include a fire extinguisher, matches, and activities like games or books to help pass the time. For more helpful tips, you can go to ready.gov/kit. And if you haven't already done so, you should also register for Torrance Alerts. It's the city's mass emergency notification system. You can sign up for this free service online at torranceca.gov/Torrance Alerts. The city of Torrance hosted a workshop recently to address and evaluate the use of modified hydrofluoric acid use by ExxonMobil, a concern from the community after the refinery explosion occurred earlier this year. The workshop was part of this week's council meeting under Community Matters, as many came up to speak inside the council chambers. ExxonMobil plant manager Brian Ablett talked about the current operations on site, stating that the refinery is working well below full capacity. The meeting provided context on how the city arrived at allowing modified hydrofluoric acid to be used in the city. The controversial chemical compound that contains fluorine exists as a colorless gas or fuming liquid and is commonly used to make high-octane gasoline. Now, after analysis conducted during the court consent decree in 1990, officials say the modified HF catalyst, once released, would fall to the ground and not go airborne. There were presentations about the review done by the city, as well as reports on how the Torrance Fire Department works with ExxonMobil to maximize safety precautions. About 30 people from the community came out to talk about their concerns, many saying they want a safer system. The city also talked about having another regulatory agency give feedback on the catalyst. Numerous refinery employees attended, and several spoke about the strong safety focus on site, explaining that if the refinery were not in safe working conditions, they would not be there. Now, you can catch a full replay of this meeting right here on CitiCABLE. Now, due to the length of the city council meeting, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday's replay schedule will be modified to begin at 10 a.m. and 6 p.m. You may find some bare shelves shopping at any of the local Hagen supermarkets. According to Hagen's closure list, at least 6 stores from Torrance, Redondo Beach, Lomita, Rancho Palos Verdes, and San Pedro are expected to shut down operations by November 24th, just 2 days before Thanksgiving. Already, businesses like Smart and Final have put in a bid on 3 of the stores, including the one in Torrance on the Boulevard. Competing bids from other grocery chains are expected in the coming weeks as Hagen markets prepare to liquidate and sell their assets. Bids must be submitted by October 26th, less than a year after expanding Hagen Inc. filed for Chapter 11 bankruptcy, leaving 83 market sites up for grabs. Well, just down the way, Del Amo Fashion Center offered better news as many found their way to a big event. Our reporter Tao Ta was at the official ribbon-cutting ceremony.
City leaders, enthused shoppers, and the business community gathered at the newly remodeled wing at Del Amo Fashion Center.
3, 2, 1, cut! Congratulations! The new expansion of Del Amo Fashion Center is now open.
With food and great music, folks came out to celebrate the opening of the $2.3 billion shopping center. 60 of the new brand name stores are now open for people to shop till they drop.
Kind of a nice surprise. I came for the Nordstrom event this morning, but then we missed all the bags being given away, so we just wandered through the mall and we just noticed all the different stores that are opening.
Torrance resident Robin Kim was thrilled to hear about the grand opening and says the expansion filled with new and exclusive stores could push more people to do their shopping in Torrance.
It's kind of hard to have them all these days because everyone's buying stuff online. So it's important to have these stores that people really are drawn to, that would want to go in and get the thing that they're looking for.
One thing's for sure, the 400,000 square foot expansion to the 2-level fashion wing means more jobs.
The expansion of Del Amo Fashion Center has been a long time coming, but it's the over 1,000 jobs created in retail and construction that's opening new doors to opportunities.
Malls are very important parts of the community. We are economic engines. Employment, a place for people to shop, people to dine, and we pay a lot of taxes.
With the remaining stores scheduled to open by Black Friday, Torrance Mayor Patrick Fury says the new shopping center couldn't have opened at a better time.
What we have here is an economic driver for our entire region, and to me that's an important thing. As we'll see in the following months, this is going to be one of those things that everybody's going to come to see. Southern California, they're going to come to the Del Amo Fashion Center. They're going to be buzzing about what we have here, and that's important. The boulevard has changed tremendously.
I worked on this a long time ago, and I walked it last night at midnight, and most of the Simon employees were here, and I looked around and I said, no, this is far beyond what I thought we would achieve, and it's just terrific. And when our customers see it, when the employees see it, when you see it, hopefully you'll shop. It's amazing. It's an amazing transformation.
For Torrance CitiCABLE, I'm Tao Ta.
Thanks, Tao. Renovations at Del Amo Fashion Center also include the addition of a new parking structure, free Wi-Fi, as well as new restaurants that plan to open along the boulevard by the end of the year. The new flagship Nordstrom also opened that same morning. Now, the next phase 3 of the mall renovations hopes to be complete by spring of 2016. Well, still ahead, a new direction for a local choral group, plus find out how one organization is helping to promote literacy through their free programs. But first, here's your 5-day forecast. The Los Cancioneros Master Chorale welcomes new leadership as they get ready for their upcoming performance at the James Armstrong Theater. Alan Petker was recently selected as the new conductor for the chorale. Petker is a composer who has published more than 250 works and has worked for many renowned music publications. The Los Cancioneros Master Chorale has been around since 1949 and is known to be a mixed chorus that performs throughout the South Bay. Petker says he is looking forward to inspiring his team.
The first thing that I think that a choir director has to do is when I think of it inspiring, I want them to get so excited about the music that they're going to practice on their own.
The chorale performs a range of music from classical to modern. They are getting ready to make their debut with Petker at their upcoming concert called Getting to Know You. The Torrance Art Museum has brought art and culture to the city of Torrance for 10 years, and to celebrate this big milestone, city dignitaries and the community came together for a big celebration. TAM was originally built in the early 1960s and originally named the Jocelyn Recreational Center. Thanks to a grant, it was renovated and reopened in 2005 under the new name. Torrance is one of the few cities in California that owns and operates its own museum. Annually, the museum attracts 6,000 visitors and has shown work from more than 1,000 artists.
The really great thing about the Torrance Art Museum is we do temporary exhibitions, and we're able to work with artists from the local community as well as internationally.
The museum has showcased contemporary art from Europe, China, and Japan. Eve Rappaport says she hopes to take the museum to the next level.
I'd like to see more programming related to the exhibitions, like film screenings, like panel discussions, like, let's say, family workshops where you can come in and work with an artist and create something maybe based on one of the themes in the exhibition, that kind of thing.
Torrance Mayor Patrick Fury proclaimed October 15th the official anniversary date for the museum. Admission is always free. To learn more, you can go online to torranceartmuseum.com. Young chefs got ready to master the art of sushi making, and it was all designed in the spirit of Halloween. Dressed up in their aprons and bandanas, pairs of young aspiring chefs got to work using rice, smoked salmon, seaweed sheets, soy crepe sheets, and rice vinegar to make tamari sushi. Kids were taught step by step how to make the sushi from beginning to end. Now, this event took place at the Mitsuya Shopping Center in Torrance. The free cooking class for kids is designed to promote healthy living and shows how to prepare food using Japanese ingredients. The class capacity is 30 people and will continue into November. You can learn more by going online to Mitsuya.com. Big changes are happening in the city's public access television studio. Here's Hibas Samad with more on what the future holds for this rare community resource.
There was no better way to welcome the high-definition TV studio than saying goodbye to the old. TCTV, the city's public access studio or Torrance Community Television, has flourished for 3 decades as a place where everyday people can express their free speech.
The TCTV is a great place for people to learn how to do it, how to be a producer, how to be a sound person, how to run a camera.
TCTV has been a platform educating community residents on how to produce their own programs. Interested Torrance residents and members of nonprofit organizations have the opportunity to learn firsthand from workshops taught by professional producers on how to work in the studio, be out in the field, and edit programming, all for free.
So there's LED kits and there's also just regular lighting kits.
And at the recent open house, attendees experienced workshops, toured the edit bays where they can use Avid editing software, and checked out the high-tech equipment.
We just kind of teach you how to use it. It's kind of up to you on what you want to do for your show.
Each producer's creation is then showcased to thousands on Time Warner Cable Channel 28 or on Verizon Fios Channel 36.
Definition of a show. Definition of a show is anything you call a show. Since it is your show, the definition is anything you want.
The open house gave community members of every age a chance to experience the studios for themselves, and even the mayor got in on some of the fun.
You can see our new plans for rapid transit in the city of Torrance. We've got our fingers crossed, and someday we'll all be moving through the South Bay.
And with the facility this rare, it's a unique opportunity for the people of Torrance to share their ideas with the community. For Torrance CitiCABLE, I'm Hibas Samad.
Thanks, Hiba. TCTV was established in 1985. To learn more about how you can produce your very own programs for TCTV, go online to torranceca.gov/cable, then search TCTV. With the Halloween season in full swing, there's one place that many locals visit to find that perfect pumpkin. Jesse Pierre visits one of the more popular pumpkin patches right here in Torrance.
Finding the perfect pumpkins can be difficult, but not for Torrance resident Daniel Spencer.
Born and raised in Torrance, California, Cantoni & Sons is what you know in Torrance. So it's Christmas trees, it's pumpkins, so this is what we do every year.
It is a family affair for Spencer, who uses these times to create memories with his wife and daughter.
I feel that we're very fortunate that we have family nearby and we're able to come and continue this tradition of our childhood and to be able to bring Vivian and her to enjoy this with her grandparents and her uncle.
You know, my older kids have came here and brought their grandkids, and now my daughter's got her baby, and so we're coming here with them.
Cantoni & Sons have been a Torrance institution when it comes to the holidays. From trees to pumpkins, for more than 50 years, they've provided not only the best, but also an experience with a petting zoo, jumpers, and even face painting.
They're a family-owned business. They've been here for many years. They've always produced the best product, the best pumpkins, the best fun for the kids, and it is local. We try to support the local business.
This year's pumpkins come all the way from Oregon. Owner Joanne Caccioni said they were the best and even shared some tips on how to carve and preserve them till the end of the month.
The best way to carve a pumpkin is buying a carving tool such as this because it's flexible. Your regular kitchen knife is too stiff to make curves and turns for whatever face that you're doing on your jack-o'-lantern.
Pumpkins range from $1 for these little tiny ones all the way up to $35 for the large pumpkins. But one thing you want to remember is to not carve it too soon. For Spencer and his family, it's bittersweet because this is their last pumpkin patch before they move out of state. But they will never forget their home away from home.
It's great. I love Torrance. This is where I grew up. This is where I live. This is where my wife lived. You know, we grew up 2 doors down from each other, so it's very, for us, it's a big community, but it's a small community, so it's very important that we get back to who we were born and raised with here in Torrance.
For Torrance CitiCABLE, I'm Jessie Pierre.
Thanks, Jesse. Caccioni & Sons brings all the fun and their pumpkins to 21573 Madrona Avenue. They're located between Carson and Torrance Boulevard. Speaking of Caccioni & Sons, that was the place to be recently as Honda employees made a surprise visit there for an early Halloween treat. Helpful Honda guys are bringing smiles across Southern California, all in the spirit of Halloween. One of their first stops was Caccioni & Sons Pumpkin Patch on Madrona Avenue, where they treated 100 families with free pumpkins. This is part of their Random Acts of Helpfulness campaign, which is exclusive to SoCal residents. It's been a tradition for 9 years now. The Helpful Guys in Blue plan to have more than 20 pop-up free pumpkin events throughout the month of October. They will travel from LA to Orange to Riverside and Ventura counties. The Depot Restaurant's 20th annual Halloween Ball broke records this year as hundreds came out in their best Halloween fashion, all for a great cause. Here's Tao Ta with the story.
It was a night of fun and fright at the 20th annual Halloween Ball benefiting Pediatric Therapy Network.
I didn't think about the heat before I actually made the costume. I'm a little bit hot, but it's a great costume. It's always a hit. Everybody wants to be Jack.
It's all for children like Brandon Tanioka. Brandon has cerebral palsy. He started with the Pediatric Therapy Network when he was just 6 months old.
He could barely, lift his head up and, do the things that normal kids could do. So PTN, with their help, he was able to work on therapy, physical therapy. He received occupational therapy, speech therapy.
The Pediatric Therapy Network helps at-risk children and children with special needs. For many folks who came decked out in their best costumes, it was all the worthwhile.
Because I think this just speaks volumes to my personality. At Pediatric Therapy Network, I work in an early intervention program, so I think it just speaks volumes to who I am and the energy that PTN brings.
Speech therapy allowed Brandon to get a communication device. Ones like this is really providing Brandon the tools he needs to succeed. And when I asked Brandon what was his favorite costume of the night, well, this is what he said.
Mine.
Yours?
Mine.
Now at 18 years old, Brandon has come a long way, and he's having quite a ball spending the night with his friends in the community who continue to dance the night away under a ghostly white tent, all for a good cause. For Torrance CitiCABLE, I'm Tao Ta.
Thanks, Tao. The Pediatric Therapy Network serves more than 2,500 children with special needs. Thanks to the chef and owner of the Depot and Buffalo Fire Department, Michael Schaefer, and his team, the Halloween Ball raised approximately $240,000. A teen from a rural village in Cameroon, Central Africa, made a 19-hour journey to Torrance to seek medical help. Hibas Ahmed was there and has this incredible story.
We're going to be able to really open this up, and actually most of the bones in your elbow are pretty good.
It's the beginning of a long-awaited journey for 16-year-old Jespa Awoma, who received life-changing news.
Home being.
I'm very happy because they'll fix my eye and my hand.
Jespa will receive reconstructive surgical treatment at Torrance Memorial's Burn Center, giving him the chance to use his right arm and close his left eye for the first time.
Everybody's excited. Everybody's waiting to see how he's going to come back and look like.
At 10 months old, he was severely burned when he fell into a fire inside his family's home in Cameroon, Africa.
They will always look at him like an outcast.
But just 3 years ago, Jespa's contagious smile captured Hermosa Beach resident Rochelle Mirnes' attention while on a mission trip, leading her to make this video.
Whenever that it hurts, sometimes it hurts.
It's really heartwarming to think that we're changing the life of an individual and then also everyone that he's going to touch.
The video soon caught attention from Torrance Memorial staff who teamed up with the Children's Burn Foundation to bring Jespa to America for treatment.
There was no way the Children's Burn Foundation could say no to Jespa. He has a smile that lights up the world, and this is what we do.
Dr. Matthew Rice and his team plan to perform half a dozen surgeries on the teen.
Our biggest goal at the end of the year was that instead of shaking his left hand, I could shake his right before he went home.
Despite his shyness, Jespa says he is forever grateful.
And the doctor that will be working on me, I want to thank them.
For Torrance CitiCABLE, I'm Hiba Samad.
Thanks, Hiba. What a journey for this young man. Best of luck to him in his recovery. We'll be sure to keep track of how he is doing and bring you an updated story. Well, there's a local gym in Torrance offering a unique service to a unique group of clients. Tao tells us more.
Partners Dominic Amici and Curtis Mann co-own a gym called End Results Health and Wellness Center. But it's no ordinary gym.
We're trying to alleviate the reoccurrence of cancer in the cancer patients that we deal with and get a better quality of life for them. The more you exercise and the more nutritious meals that you eat and quiet in the mind and meditating, the reoccurrence rate or the cancer coming back is up to 40% less. And there's a lot of studies out there now that validate what we've been doing for 14 years.
Having seen how cancer has affected their families personally, this was one way to give back.
My aunt passed of cancer, my grandmother, the list goes on and on.
My father passed away of prostate cancer when I was in my early 20s, which had a very profound effect on me. And so from that point, I tried to find a way that I could give back and help other people survive cancer.
Giving back, that's what drove this duo to create a nonprofit called Picture of Health. The class they run, called Fit and Well Worth It, is a wellness program designed to get these people up and moving.
It gives them a sense of independence that even though they're going through treatment and that they've gone through maybe several different operations, that they're still able to function independently without having people help them.
For these cancer patients and survivors, being able to get back into shape while having a good support system is what is helping them stay strong.
Originally, when I got the diagnosis, I thought, tomorrow, that's all over. Tomorrow, next month. And then as time goes on, I think, hey, it's not, and I'm good. And you just keep on, trying to improve and do better.
I feel hopeful. I mean, one of the big things here is I met survivors that are, 9 and 10 years out, and that's just been the best medicine for me.
Losing loved ones to cancer was devastating for Amici and Mann, but they turned their sadness into a positive, helping empower cancer patients so they can face their battles with strength.
I love helping people. I get more joy out of, seeing people's successes and sometimes it's just coming in here without them even doing anything. You can see their energy level has already risen.
Thriving, being able to do the physical things that you want to do with no restrictions, that means the world to me, to be able to help people do that.
For Torrance CitiCABLE, I'm Tao.
Thanks, Tao. Now keep in mind that every person responds to exercise and nutrition differently. Interested cancer survivors should always consult with their doctors before taking up any new physical activity or nutrition plan. For more information, you can go to endresultsfitness.com or call 310-378-4866. Speaking of wellness, Providence Little Company of Mary Hospital held their 12th annual Women's Wellness Conference called The Power of Pink. Jessie Pierre was at this sold-out event and tells us more.
By being here today, you are helping our hospital continue to provide the best care for our entire community, and we thank you.
Over 550 guests came to the Torrance Marriott in support of women and children's health.
It is designed to bring women together and help us understand the needs of our community and then also fundraise for our community.
This event is actually our 12th event. It's actually been going on since the 1990s because it is held every 2 years now. It has transformed several events ago. It transformed to the Power of Pink, focusing more on women's and children's health. So we're very proud of that transition.
Sponsored by American Honda Motor Company, the full-day event featured influential speakers who had inspiring messages to encourage women to focus on their health, a pop-up boutique, and great raffle prizes.
We work as a committee from the hospital, including trustees as well as community members. And we try to find people that we feel would touch someone's heart, would bring something to women here, and that we hope that each woman today can take home something that inspires them or changes their life in some way.
This is a very empowering event for women. It's great to see all of these amazing women come up here and tell their story, and through all of the adversity and mountains that they've had to climb, and it's very heartwarming and inspiring.
The Power of Pink has become a huge event bringing awareness to women and children's health. For Torrance CitiCABLE, I'm Jessie Pierre.
Thanks, Jessie. All the proceeds to the Power of Pink event will go towards supporting Providence Little Company of Mary's Women and Children Health Services in the South Bay. There's an organization right here in Torrance that's helping to promote literacy. Tao has that story.
I didn't even know how to write my name. I didn't even know if I see it in it, I couldn't tell what it was.
Growing up, Howard Citizen didn't have the chance to go to school.
I was born, raised in Louisiana. We had no school for black people.
Citizen moved to California 62 years ago, and with the help of his tutor, he can now read and write.
He's doing a wonderful, wonderful job. He is so excited and he's progressing so well. I think he'll go far.
Citizen is part of a class offered by the South Bay Literacy Program here in Torrance. The class is for English speakers or those who are learning English as a second language. They also offer lessons on how to use software programs that reinforce speaking, reading, writing, and pronunciation.
Surprisingly, there's a large segment of our community that just is functionally illiterate. And that doesn't mean they can't read anything. It just means that they can't maneuver the complexities of the English language.
For more than half of the adults in Los Angeles County, the hardest part about getting a job isn't the interview, it's the application.
When there's an adult whose goal is to get a job, that would be something we would concentrate on. We try to center our instruction around the student goal or the adult learner's goal. So many, for example, come to us wanting to get their driver's license or their citizenship or simply just ordering a cup of coffee.
Just last year, volunteers of the South Bay Literacy Council donated more than 23,000 hours to help students like Citizen get the basic education they need. As for Citizen's daughter, well, she's just glad that he's showing an appreciation for reading.
This was really an eye-opener for him, and he's 95. It just shows you that you're never too old to learn anything.
I decided to try to learn how to read and write so I could read my name and try to figure that, or read it in my prayer book and thank God for my long life.
For Torrance CitiCABLE, I'm Tao.
Thanks, Tao. To learn more about the South Bay Literacy Council and the free programs they offer, call them at 310-373-7003. Well, that does it for us on This Week in Torrance. I'm Jin Chun. If you've missed any portion of our show, you can catch us again at 11 a.m. and 6 p.m. Thanks so much for joining us. We'll see you next time.